Hi everyone, we are now having a web seminar here together with Fia Gulliksson. My name is Liza-Maria Norlin and I will be the moderator at the Nordic Future Days in Sundsvall next week. And Fia Gulliksson is going to be one of the key speakers during those 3 days. So hi Fia Gulliksson.
Hi everyone, I'm really happy to be part of this webinar. Hi Liza-Maria, nice to see you.
Can you just tell us a little bit more about who are you?
Oh, I'm a food entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I live in Jämtland, in this most amazing region in the heart of the Nordic countries. I'm born and raised here, but I've traveled and lived about 8 or 10 years outside Europe, in America, in Australia. I have a bachelor's degree from Victoria University in leadership. I'm a food person, I'm a chef actually. So I'm quite diverse. I used to call myself, I'm a passionate potato because I'm like really down to earth and limitless.
Wow, I like potatoes, so that's good.
They're so good at so many things, and where I come from here, it's actually quite an honor to be like a potato. So I just recently also became honorary doctor actually in creative gastronomy. Very proud of that.
I was actually going to ask you about that because I saw in the presentation it says that you are like creative, or you could say CREATive. You can spell it that way. Gastronomy. What is that? What does that mean?
For me, it means that we need to change the food systems. We kind of painted ourselves into a corner with our food systems. They're not sustainable. And the way we produce food, the way we process food, the way we transport food, it's not sustainable. So we need to take a U-turn and redo our food systems and redo our thinking. And to do that, you need to solve it in a new manner. So you need to be like a CIA agent. You need to create, imagine, act. You need to collaborate, celebrate, raise awareness, and inspire others. You need to find new ways. So you need to be creative. And I also think that you need to add other values to gastronomy. It's not just to fill your body or to make yourself happy and content. It's also about rural development. It's about local economy. It's about social economy. It's about the place that you grow in, and it's about relationships, and it's about trust. So that's why I call it creative gastronomy. So it's not just gastronomy, it's so much more. It's a way of building a sustainable gastronomic region, for instance, or a community or a country.
I know I'm from Western Norlin, which is next to your county, Jämtland, and I'm usually very proud when I talk about our neighbor county, Jämtland, because I know you guys are very good when it comes to food and gastronomy and the local development. Can you give us some examples how this works in like reality?
Yeah, I think we are both really good, but we're not taking the advantage of the actual green gold we're sitting on. And I say that not just here in Jämtland and Härjedalen, I say it in the whole of the Nordic countries. But awareness are starting to rise now, and we're so fortunate to live in the Nordic countries. For instance, I think in a way we could actually put a certificate on all things that grow here. We have a high standard of not so much pollution. When we grow our vegetables, we don't need it as much as in other regions of the world. Our welfare system, when it comes to animal welfare, is really good. It could be a lot better. So we have the potential of being a lot better. We are quite good already, but we need to focus on it and prioritize it. And it's for many reasons. It's for our coming generations, first of all, but it's also for the pleasure of life, I think, and to enjoy good, clean, fair food is everybody's right, and we need to work on those things. But for instance, Jämtland, where I come from, we are so fortunate. I mean, 65 to 70% of the farmed land in our region is cultivated in an organic manner. And I mean, that's a really good thing to have for the future, because what are we going to lack in the future? We're going to lack clean water, and we're going to lack clean soil. So we're so fortunate. And then we need to take care of that, and we need to take care of our farmers so they are able to keep growing things. And then we need to support them by buying their produce. But because of the food systems we put in, it's cheaper for us to buy, for instance, vegetables and meat from New Zealand than to buy it from the local farmer. And of course, it's not sustainable always to buy clothes, but at least you will have a relationship to your farmer, and you can understand kind of the consequences of if you buy 5 kilos of tomatoes and then you throw away half of it. I mean, you have a relationship. So I think adding other parts of issues in the thinking of what creative gastronomy is. Oh, that's a very long answer to your question.
Thank you so much. Well, when it comes to sustainability, obviously it's economics and it's environment, and it's also the social perspective.
The social aspect, totally.
And I know that you also talk a lot about culture and food and how they are connected and relationship. Can you tell us some more about that?
Okay, let's say, you remember Winston Churchill? He used to say that without, if there's no culture, what's there to fight for? And that's an idea about that. We need culture and creativity. I mean, I think the humans, we need that for our pleasure. And I think we'll die without culture or creativity or arts or music or design. It's part of our DNA, and we need that to be happy and to feel good. And I think it's the same thing with food. We need food. We will die without food, of course, but we will also die without culture. So these two are drivers for people to feel good. And they're really hot drivers for people to create good communities. So that's why I thought, it was 10 years ago, I realized that my town, we have this green goal. We're sitting on this green potential, but I couldn't really see the leaders prioritizing gastronomy or creativity. It's been much more focused on industries and forest industry and maybe tourism, but never really you realize, why do people travel to a place? What's so interesting with, for instance, Barcelona? What's so interesting? Why do people want to go to San Sebastian? The food is so essential, connected with the culture, for people to feel good. So that's why we need to focus on it. And I'm so happy at the moment because I have this fantastic opportunity to raise awareness around Nordic food in the UK. I'm actually project manager for a food festival, and for the first time all the 8 visit organizations in the Nordic countries have decided to try to get people to attract people to the north through food, because they have identified a target group that really care about this, and this target group I would love to talk more about on Tuesday when I come to Sundsvall. Because it's, what kind of people do you want in your community? What kind of people do you want to attract to live and to work and to visit you? I mean, that's the first things you need to think about. And that's how culture and creativity are so important. They're drivers for attraction. And there are ways of working around this, and there are ways of addressing these target groups. And this whole year is actually quite exciting in the UK because the Nordics is so popular there. So this year, the Nordic Council have decided that the whole year is going to be like a cultural festival at South Bank. So the whole year it's going to be music, design, film, and food. So I will run the food festival in October. And the whole festival is called Nordic Matters. And it really does, because we have welfare solutions. We have ideas on how to drive the future. And that's why I'm so happy to be part of this Nordic community on Tuesday.
Yes, I think that would be absolutely great that we are putting like focus on the Nordics, but we're also part of the world and we want to change things for the better together. That's why the conference also is called that we want to change the future now together. And it feels like you're going to inspire us a lot to talk about important issues when it comes to food. Because we talk about culture, the local community, but we also have the big climate change issue, which really is a global. How do you think about, how's the connection between climate change and food?
That's the beauty with gastronomy or food, because it taps into everything that has to do with sustainability. I think the big major climate changes are caused a lot about our way of producing food. It's an unsustainable, uneconomical way of producing food. We need to change that. And that needs to be on the top of the agenda in every country. And if we would focus on producing food in new food systems and in a sustainable way, we could change the world. So that's why I'm saying, you know, while eating your dinner, you can actually change the world. So wow. It's a very connected topic.
What I like about the way you communicate is also that you put in the word creative. Sometimes when you talk about sustainability, some people think, oh, now it's going to get boring. Now I'm going to start eating, you know, boring stuff, not tasting well.
No.
Inspire us about what creative gastronomy, what could that offer us?
Yeah, but it's not so difficult. And the funny thing is, I've been a chef for many, many years. And the funny thing is, when you eat really, really sustainable food, it actually tastes better. And the sustainable food also makes you feel better. It makes you more healthy. And you know about all these issues about health problems globally. It's caused, I mean, food is the major cause, and sugar probably, for a lot of the diseases we have in the world now, globally. And the lack of nutrition is also caused about bad food systems. And so it's all connected. So the healthier food for the planet, the healthier it is for your body. So what's more healthy for in the big aspect is also more healthy in the small aspect. And I think also psychologically, we are really connected with our stomach. So if you eat really good food, you feel more happy too. So it's connected with the brain. And I'm pretty sure in 10 years' time, we will see food doctors. So instead of giving a medicine, they will give you a special diet, like don't eat so much this or that. It's already happening a lot, but you're going to see it a lot more, how you can actually cure probably cancer. I'm not sure how it works, but I'm sure we will see a lot of changes where food will take a big place. I have a message here now, I have to see.
Yeah.
Well,
sure, gastronomy and food will be an important question when it comes to how we want to co-create the future together.
Yeah. And also, we have a big problem for the future. It's more and more people live in constrained areas, like in big cities, in urban spaces. How do we create sustainable food in the future? I mean, we need to collaborate. We need to collaborate with architects. We need to collaborate with farmers. With the creators of energy. And if we think about the food system as an organic ecosystem part in the whole society, we can actually change this. So, but it's so many things, but I think it's so exciting too. There are so many challenges now, and we cannot solve them the way we have done it before. So we have to be creative. We have to find new ways around. We can't use the doors anymore. We have to use the windows or the chimney. I mean, we have to, I love it. I think.
I feel really excited now. It feels like we're going to get seafood and gastronomy from a completely different view when we're going to listen to you next week. And also that we talk about the systems behind this. And perhaps we can be a part of a system change that will actually give us better hope for the future, and better food, and a better climate, better environmental issues, economy.
And happy people, you know. And once you decide to focus on using food as a game changer, it's not hard. But mostly you hear, oh, it's so expensive to think your way. It's not sustainable. It's not economically. Does it really matter? Who cares? I mean, these are really the most common things that says. And I say it's super easy. It's just to set your framework and your core values, and then you just work around it. It's sustainable. It's long-term, it's attractive, makes people happy, you work on local community. I mean, it's all win. So.
Fia, you work with us. This is your work. This is what you do. You have your own company. Can you just tell us what's the name of your company and briefly, what's the company about?
also, it's actually a company group, and I know that this works, what I'm talking about, because I'm a practitioner. I also think about in the theory, but I do it in action. So I take my ideas and do them in action. So I'm a serial entrepreneur. As I told you, I probably started 10 different companies in this field. I've started projects, I started initiatives, and it actually works. If you focus on the quality, and when I talk about quality, it's the quality of taste, and it's about doing good from the earth that it's been grown in and to the body. And it's also equality is very important part of the. So I have actually made like kind of a recipe for creative gastronomy, and it works for every company. And you know that an equal company actually does a lot better in results. If we have a mix of diversity and gender, for me, it's so important to have that, because that's how I reach the best result in my company. And this is what I've been doing. And my company is called Food in Action. And it's actually, FIA is the acronym of Food in Action, but you already figured it out probably. So that's the mother company. And then we have a sustainable tea company called Brunkulans Te, which was started by my mother, but I took it over together with my husband. And then I started the Jazz Kitchen, which was named the most sustainable restaurant in Sweden 2015-16. So that's kind of things I've done, but I've sold them. So now I'm a free agent, and I travel the world, and I inspire regions, and I inspire companies and platforms to work this way. And it's really, really fun, and it's very rewarding because it's quite easy. So I have a good hope on Tuesday, Wednesday. We're going to change the world.
Woohoo! I think that sounds great. I'm really looking forward to meeting you and all the other people that are actually coming to meet us. And together we will listen to you, but we will also talk and discuss this with you to get inspired. So thank you so much. Do you want to say something else before we end this web seminar? To the ones that are coming, to the ones that perhaps not coming?
Yeah, I mean, you guys should try to come there, because I think, of course, we can read a lot on the internet, and we can, you know, get our ideas or our actions inspired by like this on internet or reading. But I think it's so important to come together physically also. So please come to the seminars on Tuesday, Wednesday, is it?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Yeah, because things happen when people actually meet in real life as well. And that's because we use all our senses then, not just words or sights. I mean, I think it's super important. And that's when my new creative ideas come, is when I come together with people. And I also want to just say 2 sayings that I always work with every day in my life. Every morning when I wake up, I think about this. I think I'm just one person, and I cannot do a lot of change, but I can do a little. So be the change you want to see in the world. And then I also love this saying, and you have to kind of write it to get it, but it's to get there spells together. To get there. To get there spells together. So come together, and we can make some change. And that's it, I think.
Thank you so much. So here, guys, on the 21st to the 23rd of March, we meet in Sundsvall at Grönborgs to co-create together. You will meet Fia and a lot more of inspiring key speakers and people that are gathering, because we want to change the future starting now. Thank you so much, Fia. Enjoy your day.
I want to say one more thing. You guys are amazing. I mean, I just read who else is coming there, and I feel so happy to be part of the speakers, and I feel so inspired to meet all these people. They are so cool. So thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Looking forward to see you and meet you here in Sundsvall.
Yes.
And have a lovely weekend.
I will.
Yes, and
I see good food. Bye.
Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
And watching.
And watching. Bye.